all of you have just gone through the content what we have studied yesterday. Last day we have seen the style of writing. Specifically, what is the classification of Buddhist sects during the investigation regarding these sects. We have just tried to find the notion behind. Please mute your mic. Who is? So, notion behind the different developing sects, philosophical sects, because first of all we have seen that there are two different sects, Hinayana and Mahayana, and later on it has been divided in different. It was the main resource point of four different sects of philosophical sects in Buddhist regarding Buddhist Hinayana and Mahayana, different parts, and we have seen that what was the specific point from which we are saying that it is they are accepting that external thing can be perceived, or someone who is saying that that may be just inferred. We can find it through inference only. And later on, we see the Sunyavadi tradition and Vijnanavad tradition. So, what we have discussed, why we have discussed these things, because most of the concepts, most of the texts which are belonging from Mahayana tradition. So, to know Mahayana tradition, we just investigated the Hinayana tradition also, and we found that there are four different types of different notions regarding the thing, regarding the prameya, or later on you are viewing the one of the most important logical school in within Buddhist tradition. And in this way, we just tried to know the Buddhist literature, and we have seen Tripitaka, Nikaya, Anga, and Dharmaskandha. And again, subdivision of different Tripitaka, like Vinay Pitak, Sutta Pitak, Abhidhamma Pitak, and later on within Vinay Pitak, Sutta Vibhanga, Kandak, Parivar, and sub texts, sub types, or you can say that the development. And in the same way, we have seen the Abhidhamma Pitak, and in the same way we have seen the Vinay Pitak. After that, Sutta Pitak, and within Sutta Pitak we can see Digha Nikaya, Madhyama Nikaya, Sanyukta Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya, and Khuddaka Nikaya. And these are very similar if you are understanding Sanskrit term. So these are Dirgha Nikaya, Madhyama Nikaya, Sanyukta Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya, and Khuddaka Nikaya. And in the same way, the different text related to कक्षा चल रही है. So we can see that within Shudrak Nikaya. There are so many texts, Khudak Path, and so on. And the most important text in Buddhist tradition, which can be treated as the Gita of Buddhist tradition, that is Dhammapada. And I have mentioned that this text has been translated by Acharya Rahul Sankritya in Sanskrit. So it is very important text, not only for philosophical, but for moral, morality, and all these things have been discussed in this text. So it is very important. And later on, we see why they are coming one by one. So later on, we see the commentaries on these texts, Arthakatha, which is called as Arthakatha, and this tradition is the same as we see in Sanatan tradition. Vedic text. There are, after that we see it you can find in the same way. After that, we have discussed on the relevance or importance of those texts, specifically Tripitaka. So there are so many aspects if you are viewing political, economical, social, and so on. These are something which can be analyzed while we are learning the text, because only philosophical aspects or literary aspects are not sufficient. If you are trying to understand the text, for that you need to know all these things. And in this text, it is elaborated what is Dhammapad, and within Dhammapad you find there are 26 Varg classes, Varg, or which is called as Vag, you can see here. And later on, the philosophical notions, if you see, we have earlier mentioned this one, and it has been described in a specific way that Vyavasik, which are what his concept is, and what Swatrantik they are accepting, what about Madhyamik or Sunyavadin, and later on what was about Yogachara Vijnanavadin. So you can find in such way. Okay, so these are very important thing which you need to understand. I see you are coming one by one. That is not good. If it is starting from 5, you need to join at 5, because otherwise it is just disturbing, and we have only 40 minutes, and we have to spend 4 to 5 minutes for this one. Later on, we see the main difference among this one, Hinayan and Mahayan tradition. Between Hinayan and Mahayan tradition, Hinayan, the basic thing which we need to know, who are accepting that. Who are accepting, जो यहाँ पर ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं, 5 बजे का मैंने टाइम दिया है, प्लीज 5 बजे में टाइम से ज्वाइन किया करिए, क्या, क्योंकि मुझे बीच बीच में फिर स्लाइड मिनिमाइज करके जाना होता है वहां पर. तो यहाँ पर we need to understand what is the main difference between Hinayan and Mahayan. The main thing which we need to know, who are accepting that Dharma Chakra Pravartan, this incident occurred in Sarnath. they are different group, and someone who are accepting that it was occurred in Rajagriha, and you will see the Mahayana texts. They are mentioning Gridhakut Parvat specifically, and that is very beautiful place. If you find that opportunity, must go there. I have visited several times. That is very nice place. This one, the Kut Parvat, and there are different places also you need to visit if you have such an opportunity. So Rajagri, that is very important for Mahayana tradition. And I have also mentioned that where it was originated, but it was not in practice. Why? I have mentioned yesterday. And regarding the text, because now we go through the Mahayana texts. So I have mentioned that Navadharma or 9 religions, you can say, or Vaipulya Sutra. Why you are saying Vaipulya Sutra? Because
Sir, sorry for disturbing. This slide is not very clear. This one and the last one.
okay,
It's not clear at all. Either the font size is too small or there is
okay,
it is out of
okay. I am just trying to increase so that it will be
Yes, please.
able. You can read
Thank you.
it.
The last slide also. The slide before this, the round one.
Okay, okay. I am just increasing the font size so that you can. I think.
इसके पहले वाला भी सर.
हाँ हाँ ठीक ठीक. अब ठीक हो है.
जी ये ठीक है. इसके पहले जो गोल गोल थे वो
हाँ.
5-6 ग्रीन वाले वो भी नहीं. ये तो इसके पहले था सर. वो राउंड्स में थे. हाँ दिस वन. ये भी नहीं दिख रहा है. इसका ये व्हाइट कलर एक्चुअली नहीं दिखता है. वो आउट ऑफ फोकस लग रहा है.
सर वो ब्लैक कर दे या रेड तो शायद दिखे, क्योंकि ग्रीन से व्हाइट दिख नहीं रहा.
हाँ ब्लैक कर दीजिए या कोई और कलर कर दीजिए. हाँ ये
जी
सही.
सर दिख रहा है.
थैंक यू. बहुत धन्यवाद.
So these are called as Vaipulya Sutra. Vaipulya Sutra means
एक बार जरा राउंड वाला दिखाइए सर. लास्ट वाला एक बार प्लीज दिखा दीजिए.
क्लियर है.
हाँ ठीक है सर. थैंक यू. अब चलिए आप आगे बढ़ते हैं.
So now we are just talking about Vaipulya Sutra. That Sanskrit term is Vipul. That main term is Vipul, and which is enlarged. That is called as Vaipulya. That is Tadhit suffix. If you see the suffix, that is there are 5 types of suffix. One of those suffixes, Tadhit suffix is there, and which is just used with the noun, and it is creating the pad. So it is Vaipulya, Vipulatayaha bhavah. So Vaipulya Sutra, and there are 9. These are called as 9 religions or 9 Navadharma. Why it is called as Navadharma or Vipul? For that, you can assume that there are so many texts which were available, but nowadays the available texts are just you can count. But in previous time, we can say that there are so many texts, but these are now we can say that these are available texts. But some of the texts which are just mentioned in different texts, but they are not available So normally whenever we are talking about uh, Mahayana tradition, Sanskrit texts, then we are counting these texts, and these are very important. That's why it is called as 9 religions. And after that, we can say that there are different texts also, which are not concerned with Mahayana only, but Theravadin texts also available in Sanskrit. And you which are either translated or they are originated in Sanskrit. So you can say all these texts. We have studied yesterday, that's why I'm not going there, and you will say that it is also not visible. So I'm just increasing the font size so that it will be easily visible. Okay, so these are different types of text. For example, some of these texts, there are Jatak texts, some are just to praising that God, or and some of those texts, they are just Sanskrit tradition. So these are the texts which is written in Sanskrit, and you can find the tantric texts also, epic text also, and the play you can find like Sadiputra Prakarana written by Asughosh. Mainly you will find the text from written by Asughosh only regarding Natak. And the text which we will is Sadharma Pundarik. But before going to read this text, we are just trying to deal with Buddhism, because we have mentioned in our course outline also. So first of all, we will talk about Buddha Charitam. Is it visible? Yes, it is okay. So now I am just talking about Buddha Charitam. If you have any question from previous slide, so you can ask. Otherwise, I am just coming towards this text, Buddha Charitam. If any question, you can ask. Otherwise, okay. Now I am just coming on the text, which is very important text. Important text means, why I am saying this text is important, because in this text you will find only the story of Lord Buddha from his beginning is, not only beginning is, from his birth to when he has the knowledge. But why it is important? Because the author, who is coming from Sanatan tradition, he just in the court of a king who is following Buddhism, and later on he just tried, the great poet Asughosh, he just trying to write regarding Buddhist tradition only. If you wish to read in detail, there is a text, Sanskrit Kavi Darshan by Acharya Bhola Shankar Vyas. That is very important text. Important text means he has written originally, and that is very he has written in such a way which is giving a different notion. He is saying that whatever he has written, Asughosh has written, or whatever Kalidas has written, whatever Srihars has written, all these are just due to their background, and their tradition, they in which society they are belonging. They were belonging. Only due to that they are doing all these things. And regarding Asuhos also the same thing, because previously he was in Sanatan tradition. That's why you will see when he is using the similes, when he is using upma, at that time you will find that they are just giving the examples, upma, or he is comparing. You will you find the same thing you will find in Puranic tradition. For example, when he is explaining that how Buddha came on the earth, the in Sodas Sanskar you are finding that there is Garbhadhan Sanskar, and when he was entering in mother's home. So that is it's explained nicely as a Puranic tradition only. You can find in Puranic tradition, because in Buddhist tradition that is quite different thing. Not only this one, when he is explaining all these things, sun, moon, and other thing, you will find it in Sanatan tradition or Puranic tradition. You will find the same thing. So whatever he is explaining, that was affected from his previous life. Previous life means where he was. So if you see, there are 28 chapters, or you can say sarga, because when there is Mahakavya, that will be divided in sarg. The name of the chapter will be as sarg, and there are 28 sarg, but you can find only 14 sarg in original. Some of scholars, they are saying that only 14 chapters, or just 14 sarg, which was written originally, later on rest have been added. What is, in fact, what is the right or what is wrong, we can't say clearly. But why they are accepting that only 14 sarg is original, and those have been added later on? Because from the very beginning of his birth and up to the gaining the knowledge, Buddhatva Prapti, you can find this story is occurring within first to 14th sarga only, and that's why they are accepting that it is only basically 14 sarga. Sarga is this is the original. Other rest have been added later on. Anyway, and this text is written in fully in Sanskrit, and first seven slok. These slok are not available. First 7, and not only this one, from the 32nd shloka of 14th chapter, 14th sarg, up to end of the text, only 81 verses are available originally. So these shloka are written by again rewritten by Acharya Ramachandra Das ji, because these were not available. But even that, you will find there are different versions, not only one or two different versions you will find. I am showing the example. In this text, you are finding the shlok 1 to 7. These are quite different than this one. You see, it is starting with Ichwakvangsarnav samprasuta prema karaschandra iva prajanam shakeshu shakalya gunadhivasa shuddhodanakhyo nripatir babhuva. And in this text, you can find 5 different shlokas. So, what we are finding that it has been written by Acharya Ramachandra Das, not only by Acharya Ramachandra Das, but also by different scholar. It has been added. Okay, so you can find different one. But normally we are following the text which is published by Motilal Banarsi Das, or they were publishing authentic texts only. But nowadays the condition is quite different. But normally we can accept that what they are published, they have published, that can be accepted without any question. Okay. So anyhow, now we are using the chapterization or the name of Sarg. And if you see the Sanskrit name or Sanskrit term, you can understand it easily. You can understand it easily. Bhagavat prasutihi. Bhagavatah prasutihi. If you understand the case or karak and the compound, then you can understand it easily. Bhagavatah prasutihi, the birth of the God or Lord Buddha. That is Bhagavat prasutihi. And as per the name of that chapter, you can assume the content of the chapter. And is dealing with the birth of Lord Buddha, starting from the dream of his mother, Maya Devi. Dream of his mother from beginning with this one up to his birth. You can find each and everything that has been described in poetic way. That is not just a factual thing. You will see the in Atisayokti Varnan. You can find the same thing here also, because in Puranic tradition, in tradition, you can find that in that tradition, these are beauty. So this you will find in this text also. And later on, you see the second chapter, that is the second sarga, that is called as Antahpura Vihar. If you are translating chapter, that is quite different thing. You need to use the term sarga only, because whenever you are talking about Mahakavya, then it is mandatory that you will dividing the chapters. Sargabandho Mahakavyam. Sargabandho Mahakavyam. How you will divide and which will be the hero or Nayak of the there. Everything has been decided by the Acharya. So if it will be better if you are not translating it as chapter. Just sarg is So Bhagavad Prasuti and Antahpura Vihar. Antahpura Vihar, you know very well, Antah means the inner side. Antahpur means the Antahpur means the place where normally queen or mm, they that is inner side of the court, that is called as Antahpur, where normally ordinary people can't go there. So that is Antahpur, because when he got birth, after that he was just Srida in within that place only. So Antahpura Vihar, second chapter is based on this one, this notion. So by knowing the name of the chapter, you can assume that what will be the subject content. Otherwise, you will go to the text and you can understand easily. But normally, by viewing these names, you can understand it easily. Later on, Samvegotpatti. Samvegotpatti. Samveg, if you are familiar with psychological technical terms or Natya Shastriya technical terms, then you are very aware with such type of terms. Samveg, Aveg. He was just, he has just such type of Samveg when it has arrived first time. All these things was discussed in this chapter. And in the same way, Stri Vighatan, so how he was trying to remove the such type of affection related to women. And Aviniskramana means when he was going outside of that Antahpur. Then Aviniskramana, this one, Chandak Nivartan, he was just saying that you will not go with me. This is the last point where you can, we should go from this point. Right now, I am alone. I will go alone to gain the knowledge or for tapasya, because here also you can find the same thing, that in tradition of India, normally you see brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. So the same thing here you see, he is just trying to go to tapasya for devotion. And after that you see the next one is tapovan pravesh. He just tried to he was entering the tapovan to just for just devotion. And then Antahpur Vilap. Antahpur Vilap means when he denied to come come back, when forbidden to go with him. After that, the mother and other person from his family, they were just crying that why he left us. And not only his mother, his wife and son, all were there. And then they have just started to find where he is. That is called as Kumaranvishanam. Anveshana means to search something, and Kumar means the prince. They just tried to search where he is. After that, Sreni Vigaman, he met one Sreni Sreshti. That story is narrated there. And later on we see Kama Vigarhana. Vigarhana means he was just saying that it is not, Kam is not the thing which we should acquire. We should remove the Kam, because that is the main thing. Kam means not only lust. Kam means whatever our desire is, that is called as Kam here. And later on we see Arad Darshan. Arad Darshan, Arad, he was the guru, and he met in this chapter, and all these things are described there. And Mar Vijay, and he was just conquered the Mar. Mar means calm, and in Sanatan tradition again you see the calm is called as calm is just like a person who was just trying to trap with his fire, arrow and bow. So you see this notion is also again just taken from there. And what we will see, and later on he got Buddhatva at the end. And what we will see that in the 12th chapter, I have mentioned in your course outline also, Arad, then he was just narrating the philosophical notion, the Srishti Prakriya, and how this nature came in existence, and each and everything that is as it is, like what in Sankhya philosophy is narrating, everything is described as per the Sankhya philosophy only. So if you have studied Sankhya philosophy, then it will be very easy to understand this chapter, what we will discuss later on. So mainly these are the chapters, and by knowing the name of these chapters, because these are in the sequence, if you know these the name of these chapters, then you will be able to understand what they are he is trying to convey. And the style of writing is quite easily you can understand, and it is written in Anushtup Chand. And again, if you wish to learn Anushtup Chand, for that there is prosodical rule. Sloke Shashtham Gurur Giyam. That is quite mathematical. See the prosodical rules. Each and every prosodical rule is based on the counting of the alphabet, and that is very easy, and you can understand it easily. So he say in this for shloka, it is mentioned that Shloke Shashtham Gurur Giyam Sarvatra Lagu Panchamam Dvichatuh Padayor Raswam Saptamam Dirghamanyayo. It means to say that there will be 8 alphabet in one line. Line is called as pad. Pad means 1/4. There will be 4 lines. First line, second line, third line, fourth line will be called as first pad or pratham pad, dvitiya pad, tritiya pad, chaturth pad. Pad means 1/4. Okay, so one line contains the 8 alphabet. Alphabet means character. In computer, you are counting as character, that bit and byte. Like that, here also you have to count that it will be there are 8. And how it will be arranged, for that it is mentioned that Sloke Shashtam Gurur, the long one, Sloke Shashtam Gurur Geyam, and Sarvatra Laghu Panchamam, and 5th letter will be short everywhere. Sloke Shashtam Gururgyeyam Sarvatra Lagu Panchamam. And Dvichatuh Padayor Raswam Saptamam Dirghamanyayoh. Dvichatuh Padayoh Raswam Saptamam. Saptamam Dvi means second pad. Chatuh, fourth pad. In the second and fourth pad, or 1/4, second or fourth line, the seventh letter will be Dvichatuh Padayor Raswam. In the second and fourth, it will be, and Saptamam Dirgham Anyayoh. Anyayoh means in the first and third, it will be long. So in such way you can understand prosodical rules easily. And if you are following the prosodical rules, then you can see that will be automatically melodious. If you are committing an error, then it will be automatically, it will inform you that you are doing something wrong. Okay, because it is mentioned perfectly. So if you are trying to understand the prosodical rules, you need to understand the meaning behind that rules and those rules, and you need to formulate it. And these are quite mathematical. If you are once you understand, then you can create your own easily. So almost the whole this Buddha-charitam is based on this prosodical rules only. So that's why it is very easy, and you can read it and you can sing it in the same way. You see, Ichwaku Vansarnava Samprasuta Prema Karaschandra Iva Prajanam Sakyesu Sakalya Gunadhivasa Suddhodanakhyo Nrupatir Babhuva. And what will be the benefit if you know the prosodical rules? Even you are not knowing the shlok, even you have not read ever, if you know that this type of such type of prosodical rule is applied here, then you can read it easily. So like first one, second one will be the same. Asin Mahendra Disamasya Tasya Prithvi Guruvi Mahisindra Mayeti Namni Sivaratna Sara Shilena Kantyapyabdhi Devataiva. So, and if you are committing an error, then it will inform you easily. And some prosodical rules, they will, in those rules, it is mentioned that where you need to stop or you need to give tongue, that is called as yati. Viram or alpa viram, that is called as yati. And for again, the yati, for yati, they are just symbolized some specific terms. For example, Rasai Rudrais Chinna Yamanas Bhalagas Sikharini. Rasai Rudrais Chinna. You need to give yati whenever you find the similar number as rasa. How many rasa? We are finding there are 6 rasa. So there are 6 rasa. So rasa means 6. If he is talking about this one, kha, that means not kha, this one, abdhi. Abdhi means the ocean or sea. There are 4 ocean. Whenever they are talking abdhi, means you need to understand that he is mentioning 4. So where you need to stop you where you need to give comma while you are pronouncing these shloka. That is called as yati, and the rule for yati is included in that prosodical rules. So that is very easy to understand. And if you see the slok that is based on that prosodical rules only. If we are not knowing the prosodical rules, then we can't pronounce it easily. Sikharni Chalapangam drishtim sprishashi bahusho ve pathumatim rahasyakhyaivas swanasi mridu karantikachara karo vyadhunvantya pivatirati sarvasya madhuram vayam tattvanesan madhukarahat. So you will see whenever you are knowing the prosodical rules, that will be very easy to read. Now it is your turn. That just try to read the text, okay? Because I have spoken whatever I wished to speak about this text. And I have already mentioned that these things, these slides or this workshop or whatever we are mentioning here, all these are just to inspire, so that you will go through the text, you will read, because I have counted these texts are from Mahayana tradition, but I am showing just the some texts. This is called as thali pulakanyaya. When traditionally you are cooking rice, then you are just taking one piece of rice. You are not taking whole the or whole pot. You are just taking one rice. If it is cooked, you are understanding that everything is okay. So thali pulakanyaya I have used. And I have given here. Okay, so just try to read the text, and in the same way we will try to give you prose part also. So someone, if you are interested, because this is the first time when I am giving the text. Now onwards, the classes will be 60-40, 60 from your side, 40 from my side. Okay, because workshop means it must be both sided. Not only I am just explaining all these things like school lecture. That is not okay. So now onwards, because up to this point, these concepts, these things were very important to accelerate. So now you are at the point from where you can just go ahead. Okay. So someone who is trying to read, just raise your hand, and I will continue from 1st to 5 at least, so that we can test the original Sanskrit. After that, I will just try to explain meaning from the text. We will see. Okay. And the grammatical portion, how you can identify all these things, we will see. Okay. And some of you, if you are not aware with Devanagari, even now, for those students, tomorrow I will give the chance to read, or you can find if you have Buddha-charitam, you can take it. So who is the first reader of this text?
I will read.
Yes. Yes.
इक्ष्वाकुवंशार्णवसम्प्रसूतः प्रेमाकरश्चन्द्र इव प्रजानां शाक्येषु साकल्यगुणाधिवासः शुद्धोदनाख्यो नृपतिर्बभूव असीन्
Excellent.
महेन्द्रादिसमस्य तस्य पृथ्वीव गुरुवी महिषी नृपस्य मायेति नाम्नी शिवरत्नसारा शीलेन कात्यायप्यधिदेवतैव. Can you guys hear me? I don't know.
Yeah, very nice. Your pronunciation is better than me because I have not thought of such type of chanting.
I'm
I can
reading it
read,
for the first time. I'm
but
just
but
reading it
your
for the first time.
but that is very nice, and the tone is also the perfect. Yes.
Thank
And
you.
just raise your hand. I am not taking your name because if I will take your name and you will not be agree, then it will be not good. So just raise your hand if you wish to read. Otherwise, I will continue for the next slide. Anyone? Okay. Rambha Kumari. Because I see Rambha Kumari is expert from different language and different discipline. So, and of course, Sanskrit student. Yeah, Rambha Kumari.
जी गुरुजी.
क्लास खत्म हो जाती है. Yes, Rambha Kumari, go on.
जी गुरुजी वदतु.
पठतु. अत्र पठतु संस्कृतं.
प्रारम्भेन.
प्रारम्भतः एव.
आम्. इक्ष्वाकुवंशवर्णसम्प्रसूतः प्रेमाकरश्चन्द्र इव प्रजानां शकेत्स्यत्सु साकल्यगुणाधिवासः शुद्धोदनाख्यो नृपति बभूव आसीन्महेन्द्रादिशमस्य तस्य पृथ्वी गुर्वी महिषी नृपस्य मायेति नाम्नी शिवरत्नसारा शीलेन कान्त्याप्यधिते देवतैव दैवै अभिप्रार्थयमन्य अल्पभोगम्.
Okay. Now, Deepika.
Okay, sir, I will try to read. वंश श्रियं गर्वगतां वहन्ति प्राचीव कल्ले विरराज्यरज्ञि सा शोकमोहकमविर्जतापि घनं वनं गन्तुमेष देवी सालुम्बनीनां निबने मनोज्ञे ध्यानप्रदे देववनादनूने वासेच्छया प्राहपतिं प्रतीता सत्ता निभं दोहदं मामनन्ति. Thank you, sir.
बहु सम्यक्. Whenever you are reading, I have seen that if you know the prosodical rules, then it is very amazing. Otherwise, if you are not knowing, then you can't read. For example, I have just seen Rambha Kumari was chanting. At that time, she is knowing the anushtup, laya of anushtup, tone of anushtup. So even she is not knowing the text because she was committing error on different places, and that she is just with rhythm. Okay, so that is important. That's why I have mentioned prosodical rules. Anyone else? Because I see so many.
I can try, sir.
Yes.
थोड़ा सा just increase the type size a little bit. It is not visible properly.
Yes, I am just trying to do so. If it is.
It's gone. ठीक है. That's okay. तस्य विदित्वान् नृप आर्यभावं धर्मेषु तुष्टं सुतरामनन्दत् इच्छा विधाता दहितं विसङ्गं तत्प्रीत्ये चाशु विनिर्जगाम तस्मिन् वने श्रीमती राजपत्नी प्रसूति कालं संवेक्ष्यमाणं माणा. इसके बाद तो दिखाई
Very
नहीं
nice.
दे रहा है.
Let's say I will try to explain some more important things while you are reading the text, especially regarding prosodical rules. Whenever you find the compound alphabet, for example, ta, tra, the last one will be long. Okay. For example, you have just tat pritai. Ta will be stressed. Okay. So then you will be able to
just you chant it and tell us.
This one. Ichha vighata dahitam vishanka tatpritaesha suvinirjagama. Here tat ये तत्प्रीतये जो है इसका तो जो पहला तो और विनिर्जगामा का नी, ये दोनों हम दीर्घ के रूप में प्रयोग करेंगे अर्थात उसमें स्ट्रेस देंगे हम. विनिर्जगामा वैसे नौ ह्रस्व है तो इसमें करेंगे. So we need to give stress whenever we are just trying to cross the breaker. For that we need to accelerate our vehicle like that. So then it will be in rhythm. I think most of you are able to read easily. From tomorrow I will just try to extract the meaning. In which way you will extract the meaning from the shlok? We will see this thing, and later on we will just try to read the prose part from Sadharam Pundarik Sutra. Also we will see the prose part, and in what is the difference while you are reading poetic creation while you are reading prose part. What is the main difference? We will see after reading the both type of writings. Okay. And in between I see there will be one or two lecture from those mentioned scholars, but we will continue these main two texts, Buddha Charitam and Sadharma Pundarik Sutra. Okay. And additional task for you will be just to go through the Dhammapada Sanskrit version. That is very interesting, and go through the it's a translation also. If you are not understanding, then you can just for help, but go through the original text, because that will be also beneficial. That is not from Mahayana tradition, but the Sanskrit text is very nice, and it will give the different notion. And why I am saying that it is Gita of Buddhism, so you will understand easily. So these 2-3 texts we will see, and I have mentioned that on next Tuesday he will engage, Professor Anand Singh will engage, and you will learn about Lalit Vistar. So I will try to no, in between it is not possible, but you need to go through the Lalit Vistar also, and specifically how it is divided and what is the content. So at least if you see then that class will be beneficial for you. Otherwise, when he will elaborate Lalit Vistar, then it will be just for as a lecture only. So what is the subject content? Please go through by next Tuesday, and tomorrow hopefully what was scheduled to today, that will be on tomorrow. If he is not engaged in tomorrow, then I will inform you earlier, and I will continue this one. Okay. Anything else if you wish to ask? Otherwise,
Sir,
I
can
will
you just
wind it up.
explain there's 2-3 chapters? Samvegotpatti means what exactly? What was that chapter?
Samvegotpatti means the sensation specifically.
Okay.
By sensation, it is concerned with the samvedana. Samvedana, you are saying, or Vedana.
Okay, okay.
And one is Vedya, Vedana, and when you are using some prefix, that is called as Samvedana.
So that chapter contains
when
what is the content of that, sir?
sorry?
This is the 3rd sarga of Buddha Charitam. What is the content of that sarga?
Yeah, when he is understanding such type of things, and that's why you are viewing that in the next chapter, that Stri Vighatan is given there.
Yeah.
So first of all, please mute your mic. My voice is going. So in the 3rd chapter, 3rd sarg, you see he is identifying such type of samvedan, such type of sensation. And after this chapter, you see Stri Vighatan. He is just trying to move out the attraction or affection from the from women. Okay, because he was understanding that this is the main cause of this type of bond or bandhan. Okay, so that's why he was understanding all these sensations in this chapter, 3rd chapter. This is the thing.
And the last two, this Shrena Bhigmanam and Kam.
Last one you are asking.
No, not
last
Arad Darshan के ऊपर Shrena.
हाँ, Arad, हाँ. There's Kam Vigarhanam. Vigarhanam means Ninda.
Okay.
Vigarhanam means Ninda. He was just saying that everything is based on this one, so we need to avoid the Kam. Kam means not only related to male and female, but all desires. You need to avoid all desires. That is the specific notion.
And उसके ऊपर
and
Shrena Bhigmanam.
That is concerned with one Shreshti, and he was just talking with this one. And again, the same thing. You can compare it with Puranic tradition. When you are reading this one, Markandeya Purana or Durga Saptati, you are well aware of Durga Saptati. There, Surat and Vaisya, both are there. And Surat and Vaisya, they are narrating their own perception, their own problems. So this is the incident which is you see here also. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thanks. No.
Okay, now. Okay, so Rambha Kumari, you have any question or?
Sir, I am asking to सर मैंने अभी तक पेमेंट नहीं किया मैंने, तो मुझे उसका लिंक वगैरह चाहिए था कुछ. और मैसेज आ रही थी ग्रुप में तो मुझे वो मिल नहीं रहा था।
वो पिछला जो मेल गया है देखेंगे, उसमें भेजा गया है 2 बार 3 बार 4 बार भेजा गया है, नहीं तो मुझे टेक्स्ट कर देंगे व्हाट्सएप, मैं प्रयास करूंगा।
ठीक है सर।
सर ये भोला शंकर व्यास जी की किताब का नाम क्या है? संस्कृत बौद्ध
संस्कृत कवि दर्शन, बहुत अच्छी बुक है, जरूर पढ़िए उसको। Okay, so now I am closing the session today. Thank you all of you. We will meet again.